Okay, we're in. Let's go. Let's start this. What is my confession this week? My confession is I got so mad this week that I wanted to throw my camera and my laptop out of my office window. That's how angry I was. Hey guys, it's Hillary. Welcome back to my channel. You guys know it's time for another episode in Confessions of a Peacemaker. And like I said at the beginning, my confession is that I got so angry this week. And what we're going to go through is why I got angry, where that came from, why nines get angry, what does anger look like, what do we do with it, all of those things. I'm going to flush them out today. You guys know it's Friday, and so it's a more casual. We're in my living room today. I have my Christmas tree behind me because I needed some joy. I have found, especially in this year, that I need to find joy in the simple things. And for me, it was putting up our Christmas tree early. I've never put it up this early before. Who's with me? Anybody else out there? Have you guys put up your Christmas tree already? I don't know. It's the second week of November? But it's not decorated, okay? So I did draw the line there, although we're probably going to decorate it this weekend. But anyways, I have decided that I don't have to follow the rules. I don't even know who's making up those rules. So I decided to just okay, what do I want? What would be best for me and my family? And so we put up the Christmas tree. I think it was last weekend, and it has brought me so much joy. So even though this week I dealt with a ton of anger, and we are going to talk about that. But like I said, this is episode 3. Okay, you guys know I fidget a lot. I'm sorry. But this is episode 3, and the first 2 episodes, I'll link those in the description box below. The first one we covered sloth and what that looks like for the Enneagram 9, but really all types can deal with it. And the second episode was it's time to wake up, right? And we kind of walk through that. What does it look like for an Enneagram 9 to wake up? Or what does it look like for me as an Enneagram 9 to actually wake up, going after my own dreams, my own desires, and stuff like that. And so those were the first 2 episodes. You guys have literally loved this series. Thank you so much. I am enjoying the process of making these for you. It's kind of crazy because I think every week, this is what it's tending to be. Every week, it's like, okay, what is my confession of the week? What have I been dealing with? How did I deal with it? You know, as a coach, I have the tools available to me. So what does that look like to walk through things? But let's get started with what had me wanting to quit everything this week, throw everything out my office window and just kind of zone out and numb out. Okay, so here's the story. I'm going to set it up for you guys. I think it was on Tuesday. I was getting ready to film a video. It's a subtype series. I was getting ready to film one of those. And to be honest, the work that goes into getting to the point of pressing record, it's a lot. And so a lot had been done already, a lot of work, setting up, getting ready, kind of writing notes on what needs to be covered, what would help you guys out best, and all of that. So it's a big process. It's a longer process. And so by the time I hit record, I kind of just need everything to work. On that day, I was in a good mood. I was excited. I was like, okay, let's just knock this one out. I know what I'm doing. Okay, we're good. But I noticed right before I turned the camera on that the lighting in the office, I have this viewfinder, you guys, right here, right there, no, right there. I had the viewfinder and I could see myself and I was like, the lighting looks really bright in here. And so dumb. This is my first mistake, guys. I thought, oh, I'll just adjust it on the camera. So I did. I don't even know what I adjusted. Probably the ISO or whatever. I don't even understand the camera enough to be touching it, to be honest with you. I like to say that I'm called to be an Enneagram life coach. All of this other stuff stretches me beyond measure. But like I said, I hit record. I was ready. I started to record in my office, and I usually record in front of a window. And I don't know if it was cloudy that day or what, but as I was filming, I noticed in my viewfinder that it kept getting darker and darker. And I'm still recording, I'm talking to you guys, I'm teaching, and I'll, every once in a while I look over like that and I'm like, it's looking darker. And this is the thoughts that are playing out in my head. I'm like, what is going on? Why is my screen looking so dark? And I'm thinking, these are the thoughts that are playing through my head as I'm teaching you guys. Should I stop? Should I keep going? I'm like halfway through recording, and I felt like it was going really well. So I'm like, do I want to stop and start over? Because I will have to start over because then it'll be a big lighting change. I just didn't even know what to do. And I thought, well, maybe I can fix this in editing. It might be just an issue that I can fix in editing. That was my second mistake because, again, like I barely know how to edit these videos. And I'm like, seriously, I thought that I can fix it in editing. But anyway, so I finished filming and I immediately take the camera off the tripod and pop the camera card out, put it in my laptop, download it. And I'm like, hoping and praying. And I'm like, oh, I just hope it turned out. Because I was exhausted. Usually by the time I'm done filming those, I'm a 9, guys. I'm exhausted. And I put it in my computer and I push play. The beginning looks great. The beginning looks fabulous. And then I can see the transition as I'm going through. And I'm like, it's getting so dark. You can barely see me. So I'm like, okay, I'm still fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's going to be okay. I'm fine. You're fine. We're fine. It's all fine. It's going to be fine. That's what I'm thinking. And I go into the editing and I use Adobe Premiere and I just go and I just try and fix it. I do the auto and then I try messing around with it. And everything I do makes it look worse. It makes it look fake. It doesn't look real. It doesn't look natural. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I can feel the anger in me just start to boil. And I'm feeling anger. I start to feel like, okay, just everything is against me because one thing I didn't say was I've been having issues on my Instagram in the last couple of weeks also. If you understand Instagram, you know that hashtags are really important. None of mine have been working and I don't understand why. I don't understand what's going on. These posts that I work really hard on Enneagram and coaching, that Instagram, I'll link that right there for you. A little shameless plug, but on that account, the hashtags aren't working. And if the hashtags don't work, not a lot of people see it. And I work really hard creating these posts to help people understand the Enneagram. And so that frustration was already there. And now I have another technical, issue. And I'm starting to feel like, what am I doing? Everything's against me. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? I thought to myself, like, what am I doing? I should just quit. So I literally, guys, this is where I went. I thought to myself, does any of this matter? Do I even matter? Like I went through that, guys. It's so crazy to me to think back at it. But yeah, that's where I went. I was like, what am I even doing? Why am I doing this? So most of you probably know that the emotional struggle for a 9 is anger, which is surprising for a lot of people because we're usually easygoing, go with the flow. It's fine. You're fine. We're all fine, right? Everything's fine. But it's not always fine. And our emotional struggle is anger, but we suppress it. We ignore it. We run from it. Most people wouldn't even know that we deal with anger. And actually, a lot of 9s don't even realize they deal with anger. And if I'm being completely honest in this confession time, my old self would have quit. I would have just been like, you know what? It's not worth it. What am I doing? I'm done. I'm not worth it. And here's some of the things I would have done instead. I would have just said, okay, I'll figure it out tomorrow or not at all. I'm going to go watch some TV. I'll get on my phone. And zone out playing some kind of phone games because I do that kind of thing. Maybe pick up a book and read it. The big one, as I was processing this and thinking about what I normally would have done, my old self would have done, would have been to go shopping. I would have just grabbed my purse, thought of things that need to be done, and got in my car and went to Target and shopped or somewhere and ignored it. Or actually, one other thing sometimes I'll do is clean my house, which is a good thing in a way because it's like it gets clean. But the reason behind it, I'm actually stuffing anger, so that's not good. But those are some of the things I would do to ignore my own feelings, my own emotion, my own anger. And I don't even think I would admit to myself that I'm angry, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys. But here's the good news. The good news was that I was able to identify after I kind of had this like pity party in my office of just picturing myself throwing everything out of my window. Literally, I was like picturing myself, and I don't do that, but I was just like, man, I just want to take it and I just want to throw it. But after I not even got over that, but after that passed, I started to ask myself, why am I angry? And then I was like, wait, I'm angry. I know the 9 has a problem identifying that they're angry. And that actually helped me in the moment. I was like, wait, I'm angry. Okay, I'm angry. That's a good thing. Let's process that anger. And it sounds ridiculous saying it to you because like literally I'm talking out loud to myself in my office, but yes, that is what happened. And so in this process, I was like, okay, I'm angry. It's okay that I'm angry. And then I asked myself, why was I angry? So that's the thing. So once you feel that emotion, it's good, not to live there forever, but to kind of understand that emotion and feel it is a good thing for a 9. But then to ask yourself, why am I angry? Identify the source, identify the why. That's the key here. And you know what I came up with? A couple of things. The first thing is I was kind of angry because of the knowledge you need. The fact that I don't understand my camera and my lighting and everything 100% made me angry. So that was one thing. But the bigger thing that was making me angry was that deep down inside, I don't always believe my presence matters here and that I was not feeling valued. And it's not that anybody else wasn't valuing me. All of a sudden in that moment, I realized that I haven't been valuing myself. Does that make sense? Like my presence does matter, but sometimes like when this kind of stuff happens, I'm like, my presence doesn't even matter. You know, I start to compare myself to other people in my same lane and all of that kind of stuff. And the root is that I don't feel valued. That's why I was angry. I wasn't even angry that I had to redo it, even though that made me tired. I was angry because in the moment, it kind of just unearthed what I already thought about myself. That why do it? There's no purpose. Why? And what is that? That was my fears. My fear is that maybe my presence really doesn't matter, right? We know that that's the longing of the 9, that their presence would matter. And so to me, I think it unearthed that there's a fear in me that maybe my presence doesn't matter. All over lighting, all over the camera, not working right. Guys, this is what happens. If you are a 9 and you've had this happen, please share with me in the comments box below. Let me know I'm not alone. And even if you're not a 9 and you deal with this, because I know a lot of you guys aren't 9s and you watch these videos, because here's the deal. This isn't only for a 9. This is just a confession of a type 9, but anybody can relate to what I'm saying and probably has gone through this, no matter your type. So where did I go with this? How did I end up recording the video? Because it did go live. So before I could go on, I needed to just sit, to just be, to breathe, to process, to ask myself these questions of why. Why was I angry? To tell myself it's okay to be angry and process through that. I allowed myself to feel these feelings. And a lot of times I'll actually journal. It's a really good thing for you to do if you are feeling these feelings. Journal, get it all out. The good, bad, and ugly. Confess it all. And then process it and get down to that root and to that why. That's the growth path for the 9 and for all types. You know, I think it's super important to journal your needs, your thoughts, your feelings. That's super important to do. And I'm going to say the fact that I could feel my anger brought me comfort because I haven't always been able to feel it. And in the past, I might, like I said, I already told you what I would have done with it. But guess what? That would have came out sideways later. Somehow, some way, maybe at my kids, maybe at my husband. You know, a 9 will just blow. And it usually doesn't have to do with the actual situation they're in. But anyways, so to process that and to tell myself, okay, it's okay you're feeling this way. I validated my own feelings. And honestly, in that moment, I was like, okay, well, at least I'm being healthy. This is healthy. The healthy thing is to admit it and to identify it and then to do the work. I would say for a 9 and probably other types too, the healthy thing is to take some time to pinpoint why you're angry. What is the underlying reason? Was my reason really that the lighting was not good enough on my camera? I don't think it was. It just exposed what was already there. The not feeling valued, not feeling good enough, and all of that kind of stuff. It just exposed what was already in my heart. I would say the next piece is self-awareness is key. Being this self-aware, you know, watching these videos, taking notes, learning about yourself and others in your life. Self-awareness is really what helped me be able to process it and sit through it and not run from it. What did I do? I think I went and ate some lunch. And then I came back and was like, all right, we're going to do this. And I pressed record and I got through the whole video and it was fine. The editing went smoothly. That's the deal though. I didn't run from it. I identified it. I dealt with it. That's the healthy piece. And so whether you're a 9 or any other type, that is my advice for you when this kind of stuff happens. And so to close this up, I would love to know from you guys, how do you handle anger? What does it look like for you? How do you process it? How do you get to that healthy space? Things like that. Leave any of that in the comments box below. I'd love to read your guys' journey, your story, and what this is like for you, even if you're not a 9. Like I said, I think I'm a broken record. I'm like, confessions of a 9. You could be any type watching this. And let me know your type. I would love to know your type and then how you process anger, what that looks like for you, because the 9, the 8, and the 1 are all in the Anger Triad, but that doesn't mean that no other types deal with anger. They do, it just looks differently. And so let's learn from each other, help each other. Do you have any advice? I'd love to hear from you guys. That's all I have for today. Thanks so much for spending some time with me in my living room with my Christmas tree. I got some Christmas colors on. I just wanted to bring you guys some wisdom and joy today and spend some time with you. Again, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for valuing this channel and me. I value you guys. But that's all I have for today. Until next time, bye guys.